Hello.
Hello.
Who do we have here? Can you turn up your volume, please?
Okay, is
Perfect.
that better? Is that
Yeah,
better?
I can hear you better. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm called
What's your name?
Gilbert.
Gilbert.
Gilbert,
Good to see you.
yes. Good
Where are you calling from,
to
Gilbert?
see you, Sean. Yeah, we met in Uganda,
Ah,
I think last
great
year,
to see you again.
and you visited our incubator in Makere, where you had a session with one of your partners here in Uganda.
Oh, from Uganda
That's where
Startup Cup.
that's where
Yes.
we that's where we met.
Yeah.
Yeah, the startup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your
So good
question?
to see you. Yeah, my question is, I myself, I do run that particular incubator that you visited,
Yeah.
and we have struggled a little bit in raising revenue. Just as you've been discussing with us on how we can raise revenue,
Hmm.
we have sacrificed a lot as a team since we started it in around 2017. We've had a number of models that we have tried to pivot each and every year to make sure that we have a business model that is sustainable,
Hmm.
but we seem to be still struggling with creating value. We have had sessions where we look at how we can create value, have a number of entrepreneurs and startups on board, be able to pay for space, for mentorship sessions, for workshops, but they don't actually pay.
Yeah.
Uh, our other client would be the government, which is currently using us to run one of their innovation funds. But these are also people who are not also facilitating us as they had promised. So I would want us to share a few things on how you think a business incubator should be able to be sustainable. We are able to get some money from the activities and the workshops and the mentorship sessions that we hold. uh, right now, I've had a team of mentors who have been doing good work, but we are unable to even pay them right now. Then, secondly, maybe for now,
Whoa. Let's time out. We're going to run out of time. I'm going to focus on what you're. I want to focus on your first question. If we have time, we'll go to the second one. Okay.
sure, great, great.
Business incubators are a very challenging place, business model, and we worked with a number. I've worked with a number and facilitated and helped them build their
Mhm,
capacity, organizational
mhm,
capacity, built them from
mhm,
scratch, supported existing ones. So lots of experience globally in relation to what your question is, and
mhm.
it's a challenging place. And when I was there
Yeah,
with you,
yeah.
I knew that. I could tell it was challenged.
Mhm.
No judgment, please, no judgment whatsoever. This is more common than not, so I'm not.
Sure.
It's not a judgment in any way. I mean,
Mhm,
what I saw was you working really hard to make a difference in Pata 2 in Uganda, and I felt it.
mhm,
And I still do, looking at you now and seeing you again. So with
mhm.
that said, um,
Yeah.
revenue for business accelerators and incubators is challenging unless you are funding. So if you're a funding mechanism and you have a fund, that fund helps keeps you going. Some of the money that gets invested in those businesses comes back into the accelerator incubator. So it's a synergistic kind of process. And so
Yeah.
those are the ones you see doing so well. But they're also focusing on only 2% of the
Mhm.
businesses, those or less, that are ones that are scalable, investable.
Yeah.
And so what we found and what I've found to be more successful, and I think what I want to do is introduce you to Nambula Kachini in
Okay.
Zambia. Um,
Awesome.
let's make a note of this, Amy, because Nambula runs We Create, no, I think it's called WeAct Center there they renamed it
Okay.
in Zambia. And the way and there was a time where that is your rent free where you're at? Do they charge you there?
Fortunately enough, it's a partnership, so we are not paying for space and for electricity and for water.
So, and I figured that was the case because that would make sense, and that's how you're able to continue. I mean, that's one of your key expenses that you're avoiding paying. I
Yeah.
think your location
Mhm.
needs to improve. You're isolated, and it's intimidating for people to get to a university. Most people who don't go to school don't. We found that universities are an intimidating environment for large
Yeah.
people. It's not easy to get in. You got to go through a whole bunch of steps. It's just got to go through gates, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to recommend you find another location that's more central and where there's lots of traffic. I like to see accelerators in high population, areas where there's lots of business taking place. The We Create in Zambia is located in Kuku compound, where there's just surrounded by people and businesses and activity. It's a buzz with people, and over 12,000 women have gone through that program and been coached and mentored. And for the longest, so it was seed funded by the Department of State, and then after that, for 1 year, that was it, done. Now you're on your own. The space is free. So that, and they got that space was from the government. So I think partnering with the government and saying, hey, look, we've been doing this, and here where we're at. We want to move and find a place that they own, the city owns, the county owns, the state owns, the country owns, that you can then get for free, and they're willing to do it because you're doing good. You're doing PATA too. So that's one. Two, you have to have a multi-pronged revenue approach. You have to be looking at what are projects that are out there that are proposals, RFPs for proposals to do projects. So that may mean taking your practice and doing it more remote and rural, going into the refugee settlements like we've been doing there in Uganda, and helping those businesses build businesses. But there's money, and more money is going to local organizations than ever before. So organizations that are international or, are now subcontractors to you because you're the one who can get that money. So that's one. So sign up and engage in different. There's one nonprofit. Amy, let's make a note and let's send him the link. I don't remember the link. Dahlia would know it if she can send that to you. There's a nonprofit notification. It's not much money to pay for it, and every day you're going to get notifications, and many of those are going to. And then you can search however you want to. That's one. Awesome. Two, I think that the entrepreneurs don't have any money, and so they're not going to pay. So they're really not your customer, right? And so go to banks and financial institutions. Banks are looking for lifetime customers. Banks are, I don't know if you got Stanbic. I think you have Stanbic there. Yeah, so Stanbic is big, and they have their own kind of labs they're creating, and so it's a perfect synergy, and you could plug into that, and they would have potential money. If it's not Stanbic, Century, there are others, but Stanbic's showing more innovation. It's like the Bank of America of Africa, right? And then what I would also do is I would start, networking with money folks and hang out with money people within Uganda, and some of those activities and networking events that happen at night, and there's private parties at different ambassadors' houses and different things. Get into those, and then always be trying to identify people who can help you with funding and money, because that's how you do it. You build those relationships, and then then when they have money or they're going to distribute money, they know that you're the one they want to go to. And so. And I would start building relationships, with UNDP, with Department of State, embassy, with the Swiss embassy, whatever embassies are there. Start building relationships with those embassies and those people within those embassies, because they need to know you, and then money can flow to you. Because when We Create, they've got Japanese money, they've got Swiss money, they've got because they networked within all of those government entities that help them grow that accelerator, incubator for women. I'll pause there.
Okay. Do I bring in another question?
I'm afraid we don't have time for another question. You can bring it another day, because we've got approximately 3 minutes left on it, and I need to move back to Amy. But related to what I suggested, though, what are your thoughts? Are you doing any of those things? What are you doing of those things that I brought up?
Oh, yes. Maybe start with the last one. We're trying to create a number of relationships. We have had a number of meetings with a number of embassies here. We have relationships with the government. For instance, now we have the Innovation Fund that is being run by Ministry of ICT. So we already tapped into that, and we are receiving some little money once in a while. For the relationship,
it's not enough to sustain you, though. It's like little trickles that are right. It's not like a significant amount of cash. Is that right?
Yes, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Yeah. And so what I'm saying is that
Mhm.
those outside countries that are most interested in supporting and being part of the future of Uganda are the ones I would be focused on. Where is the most money coming? South Korea, I know, is investing in Uganda quite a bit. And so,
Mhm.
you see what I'm saying? Like, I think that, and you have to have the intention and you have to have ready to go some kind of project, some kind of something you can pitch. I've always got something I'm able to pitch. I
Yeah.
learned Silicon Valley and Hollywood. And, you know, I'm always got something to pitch. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. You don't like that? What about this one? What about this one? What about this one? You know, I'm shucking and jiving. And so that's what I would do with you as well. I would have the top one you're pitching and pitch that. And then based upon, well, first I would ask them, what is it you're funding right now? What's the most important thing? Because it changes from year to year for each country, right? It's just nuts. But it doesn't help the overall support of an organization like you, because one year they could be supported, the next year they're not. So, and then people change in those situations as well. But find out where they're putting their money, and then help make your endeavor fit that money, fit that, so you can get some of that money.
Yeah.
We'll get back in touch again, okay?
All
Thank
right,
you
please.
very much.
Thank you. Thank
Make
you so
sure we'll make sure to get you Nambula's contact information. She'd be a great coach for you.
Great. Thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
Thank you, Gilbert. It's so good seeing you again. I
Okay.
look forward to being back in Uganda one day. Soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.